Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with Game 3 of the 2012 Southern Assault GT in Charlotte, North Carolina. So this time, it's kind of funny. I got paired up with an Empire army, which I've played Empire, Bretonnia. Now I'm back to Empire. This one was not in our comp grouping. It's another guy. I am now at this point on table two, which is, I played my first game on table two, but that was just a coincidence. But now I'm on table two because of points so far. So obviously, this opponent has been doing very well in his first two games. Um, uh, this is very much a demigriff built list. You can tell by the picture. Dawn attack scenario, you do get victory points based on tokens. You can see I have a token with one of my men-at-arms units. There's a token in the middle of the table, and he's got a token with one of his units. So tokens, those objectives can only be secured by infantry or monstrous infantry, and you get 200 victory points for every token you have at the end of the game. So I think I've got a decent chance of holding on to the one I have and securing that one in the middle. He really can't get the one at the middle, but then again, he'll probably hold on to the one he has. So anyway, starting on the far right, he's got a steam tank, two units of demigriff knights, a cannon, another unit of demigriff knights, another cannon. Then he's got this huge bus I don't know what to do about. There's 13 inner circle knights with lances, standard of discipline with his arc lector and his BSB. So yeah, I don't know what you do about that. They are stubborn 10, rerollable, very difficult to get any wounds against. They've got a unit of state troops with two wizards and two detachments with them. And he rolled to put them in the corner. And yeah, I don't really see me getting all the way over there to deal with them. And again, I don't really need to. If I can take care of enough other things on the table. I'm not really worried about his Demigriff Knights because of all the static combat res I have. If I can get a charge with my lance into his guys, I think I can win there. I have no idea what to do against the steam tank, except for my general, but he's nowhere near it. And I have no idea what to do against this huge unit of knights. So what I do have, starting from my left, I've got 12 bowmen, knights errant with my general, peg knights, fast cav, trebuchet, big bus men-at-arms with level 2 damsel. And she, by the way, did not roll Transformation of Canaan. For her not to get that with my level 4 and her, I have to roll exactly, you know, it's very difficult to not get it, and I didn't get it. Anyway, another unit of men-at-arms, two units of Knights of the Realm, one with my BSB and Prophetess, the other one with a Paladin. So we go to Empire turn 1, and he moves up, as you can see, actually not really that aggressively, which, I don't know, from my perspective, if he would have taken his unit of knights and just crammed him down my throat, I could charge with my general's unit, and I think he's going to be just fine, just fine in that fight. Anyway, that's what he did. Took a cannon and killed my trebuchet, and we moved to Bretonnia turn 1. I'm actually really happy with how this turn one worked out. On the right hand side, I got a charge with my knights into a unit of demigriff knights, and I was able to use my fast cav to block the other unit of demigriff knights. So now, if I don't break them for some reason, I'm not going to get countercharged by the knights. I really don't know. I think no matter what happens, I'm going to get charged by the steam tank next turn, and I don't know what I can do about that. I think for the most part, once he charges me with the steam tank, that unit's going to be tied up for the rest of the game. But what you gonna do? I'm hoping to take care of that unit of Demigriff Knights anyway. There's a close-up of it. This is, I mean, obviously very nicely painted. Just a beautiful, beautiful Empire army. And my Peg Knights got a charge off into one of his great cannons, so that was very, very much appreciated. And otherwise, yeah, just, I'm really thinking that I don't care what he does against those fast cav. If he charges them, then he'll kill him, and no matter what he does, I'm going to get a charge that I like. Whether he, restrains and reforms or pursues after him, it just doesn't matter. So I go into the. I had to take a picture of this. I go into the Demigriff Knights with my Knights of the Realm, tore them up. He actually rolled pretty badly on his armor saves. Tore him up, broke him from combat, pursued him, but I had to go over those ruins, which we counted as dangerous terrain. And so what you see here is the roll I had for my dangerous terrain tests. I had to take 10 of them, and I failed 5. And I didn't make any ward saves. So I lost almost my whole unit, but not to the demigriffs. I lost it to the freaking ruins. Yeah, so it looks like that. Just And like I said, I know that I'm pretty close to that steam tank on the right, so really he's on his turn is almost certainly just going to charge me, and I don't know what's going to happen. I might even lose that whole unit. But like I said, I don't know what else to do over there besides that. Peg Knights easily kill the cannon and turn to face the other cannon, and we go to Empire turn 2. Now the huge good news that happened was that the steam tank um, generated 4 steam points. He did that every turn, I think. 3 of them went towards movement, and he only rolled for 6 inches. And so he missed my knights by an inch or two. And so instead of going towards my knights, he just came as you can see him. But that was huge. That was really, really huge. The Demigryph Knights that were right in front of my men at arms did not charge. They backed up a little bit, and then another unit of Demigryph Knights charged my fast cav, which I thought was kind of interesting. Again, I mean, it's going to allow me to just get some great charges on that one unit and almost certainly take them down. Let's see over here on the left. You can see again his knights are kind of holding back. I don't know if he tried to charge and failed it, or if he's just afraid to come up too close to my general. Now, don't get me wrong. My general charging in there is going to do some damage. I mean, he does. It's 4 attacks and he gets killing blow. Um, but all he really has to do is whiff a little bit, and that battle's going to go his way. Anyway, after combat, the fast cav are dead, and so he just reforms with his guys. Now, the nice thing for me is that he's actually pretty close to my general's unit. So right now, my general's unit is off to the left, near the big knight bus, and I don't want him in combat with the big knight bus unless he's got a lot of help. So now I can charge this unit with my general's unit, and if he stays for it, it can bring my general's unit way back over here towards the rest of my lines. And that's really what I'm hoping for. So we go to Bretonnia turn 2, and a bunch of craziness ensued. Basically, I charged my general's unit, I charged with a bunch of units, and he fled, and they kept on, you know, he would flee one, I'd charge another unit, and he'd have to flee again. And when all was said and done, he ended up where you see them, all the way at the back. My Peg Knights are they charge the cannon, and if they beat the cannon, they're going to overrun and certainly kill one unit of knights. Otherwise, everything is as you can see it. I like that the steam tank isn't real close to my units, so I'm thinking if I get lucky, I might be able to avoid that steam tank for a while. And there's a close-up. So after combat, yeah, the Peg Knights easily killed the cannon. They overran 7 inches, and so I touched one unit of Demigryph Knights, and we didn't know how to play it, like if I should keep going 7 and get rid of both units of Knights. But because I wasn't sure, I just felt too bad. So we removed one unit of Knights, and then I just stopped. Yeah, I didn't have the heart. If I knew for sure that the rule was I should go forward and slay both those units, I would have done it. But not being sure, I did not want to make a mistake in my favor that was that good. So anyway, but I'm still very happy to get one unit of Knights off. And this unit of Demigryph Knights, if they don't rally, they're off the board. If they do rally, there's no way they can avoid 2 or probably 3 charges. So we go to Empire turn 3, and of course they rally. The Demigryph Knights do. The steam tank this time decides to go far, so he charges my knights in the flank. He fails dangerous terrain tests because he had to go through the difficult terrain in order to maximize, to hit me where he had to hit me to maximize models. He failed it, but then he only took 2 wounds. If you look on the left, his general's unit charged my general's unit, and there was no way I was standing for that. So I fled and lost several knights to either to previous shooting or to that swamp there. And I don't care. I mean, the unit is going to rally on a 10, and they're far enough away from his general's unit that I don't think he can charge me next turn, and that's what I needed to have happen. So we get an Empire turn 3, and I know I've said it before, but I'm telling you, what a beautiful steam tank. So that's going to hurt. I think I'm going to have a lot of static combat res, so I think we'll stick around for a while, but this unit I think is pretty much out of the game. So after combat, when he came in, after he did the wounds that he did, he was only touching 2 models because I had to remove him off the back. So when I reformed, I just kept two models in base contact. Um, I don't remember why I did that. I wasn't because it doesn't affect how much damage he does to me. I think I was trying to leave room so other people could charge in. So we go to Bretonnia turn 3. Men at Arms charge the flank of the steam tank. The other unit, the unit that now has two objective markers, reforms, and my damsel gets out of there. So now that if his general's unit charges them, they'll be stubborn 8, rerollable, and they'll have but the ward saves. So I think that's a good unit. I like that matchup if his general's going to come in. The bad news is if you look at the bottom, my general's unit needing a 10 to rally failed it. Yeah, and they have a 10 next time or they're going to run right off the board, and that's kind of scary. If you look at the very top, I got some combo charges on the Demigryph Knights. And the mistake I made with the Demigryph Knights is the Knights of the Realm that came to their flank was a good decision. Peg Knights in their rear was a very bad decision. It gave him a lot more very high strength attacks, and he killed 2/3 of my Peg Knight unit. So that was a huge mistake. I should have just put the one unit in the flank and taken the Peg Knights over to harass, his swordsman threatened to maybe charge in and snipe off his wizards or something like that. But anyway, that's what I did, and that's how it turned out. He got away from him, which I thought was kind of a bummer. We go to Empire turn 4. So luckily, his general's unit was too far away from my general's unit to charge them. So he charged the men-at-arms, and then I decided to flee. And I'm not sure why, except that I like the idea of his general's unit just having a failed charge and being all the way back, too far away from anything to affect anything. That men-at-arms unit, I think they could have held up for a while, but you know what? They have 2 tokens that's worth 400 victory points, and if they flee, I'm confident they'll rally. They'll have 2, if not 3 chances to rally, and they're nice and safe on the other side of the board. So I don't know if I would have done that again. Nevertheless, that's what I did. His general's unit redirected into my bowmen. I don't care about them. Matter of fact, I kind of like it. He's kind of, um, out of the way of the rest of the action that's going on. There are those guys. There's that. Goodbye, bowman. And then he starts shooting at me and does, he doesn't have a lot of shooting. He's got those huntsmen. I mean, both his cannons are destroyed. He's got some magic. I think he magicked my Knights of the Realm, and his huntsman took a wound off my champion. So the champion's sitting on 1 wound only now. And over here, you can see, you really can't see the die. I've done some wounds to him. It's just so hard to get past his toughness, and then his armor save. Then after combat, yeah, he killed the bowman and just reformed. So Bretonnian turn 4. My general's unit rallied. I appreciated that very much. The men-at-arms rallied. That was big because they're rallying on a 7 because they have a champion in there. I don't know if I was within range of the reroll or not. I think I was, but basically I needed a 7 rerollable, made it. And then I decided to take my Green Knight and charge him out of the unit to the Demigryph Knights, and they fled, and he was able to catch them and then reform. So that's on the left side of this. But I had to take him out of the unit to do that because the impassable terrain was blocking the entire unit from doing the same thing. I used the remaining Peg Knight champion and the 2 remaining Knights of the Realm to block his general's unit from charging the rear of my BSB's unit, because that would just be so many points. And even though he's far away, he's not that far away. So my thinking is, you can charge the Peg Knight, I'll flee. You can redirect once, I'll flee, and he's going to get a failed charge. And that's what I need. So there's that. Here's this. There we go. It looks like he's taken 4 wounds now. And the big news is the wounds are coming now because I've got the Savage Beast of Horosoph on my on the 12-inch thing, basically. So I moved my Prophetess into combat. So she has 4 attacks, strength 6, and my BSB, of course, has base 3. So he's got 6 attacks at strength 7. He actually had strength 8 because I think he has a Sword of Might, but I forgot about that in the game, and it didn't really matter. It might have mattered, who knows. So we go to Empire turn 5. He charges my Peg Knight and my Knights of the Realm. I flee with both, and he's stuck with a failed charge. The problem is I need to block him again because he's close enough he's going to make that charge pretty soon. Yeah, so there's that. Then during shooting and magic, he kills um, he kills my Knights of the Realm, and then during the magic he kills Knights of the Realm. During the shooting, those stupid huntsmen are the crack shots like I've never seen. But they take the last wound off this Peg Knight, so he just snagged a fair amount of points right there between the Knights of the Realm unit and the Peg Knight unit, just from some cheap shooting. So good call on his part to try to get points where he can. If you look at the Steam Tank now, he went from 4 wounds, now he's at 7 wounds. So that Savage Beast is really paying off now. And we go to Bretonnia in turn 5. So I bring my general out of the Knight of the Realm unit so that on my turn 6, he can charge in and hit the corner of that Steam Tank. And I'm going to reform my Men-at-Arms to scoot him over just to make sure there's room. I brought the Green Knight and over, and then I moved the Damsel up for the same reason I did last time. I can't have his general's unit charging the rear of my BSB's unit, so he can charge these two. They're going to flee. I guess they're vulnerable to the same shooting that killed my other guys, but shooting and magic. But it's worth a chance because otherwise I just can't. That would be bad otherwise. So another view, and then after combat, yeah, this time we got Savage Beast as well as Weisson's Wild Form off, so we made short work of that Steam Tank and then reformed. Now, even reforming, I do not want to take the charge from his general's unit. But glad to get the Steam Tank off the table. We'll go to Empire turn 6. His general's unit does not want to charge now, so he just backed up. And otherwise, he moves up with his wizards and his huntsmen, I guess, whatever they're called, the 2 detachments. Looks like they have crossbows, but they don't. They just have regular bows. And it wasn't in the old picture, but he took his wizards out of the unit. And during shooting, yeah, those huntsmen take off my damsel. He's really just nitpicking me with points here. He's getting so many points back from those archers. Just kudos to him for using them like that. So gets her, and the game ends like that. It goes to my turn, but there was nothing I can do. There's nothing I wanted to charge that I could charge. Nothing else was really going to happen. So it ended up being a 13-7 victory for me, which I was pretty happy with. I felt that I did a good job of keeping his knight unit out of combat. Probably didn't do a brilliant job necessarily, but otherwise, I was happy enough with how it turned out. So that's the end of day 1. After 3 games, I have a total of 46 points so far, and 3 victories. So I'm not going to complain about that. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it.